Welcome to Adjusted Reality, a podcast series trusted by the adjusted and brought to you by the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress, where we learn from athletes, celebrities, influencers, and healthcare professionals about how to optimize health in a fun, relatable way. Join me, Dr. Sherry McAllister, as we welcome dual doctorate, international speaker, author, and professor, Dr. Krista Burns, to talk about tech neck, selfie thumb, and all the other crazy things that our smartphones can conjure up. Now, Dr. Krista Burns has been with us before, but if we want to bring up what does she do? Well, she is the founder of the American Posture Institute. She's the author of the textbook, The Posture Principles. She's a TEDx speaker and the host of the International Posture Symposium. She's pretty much a rock star. Dr. Krista is a dual doctorate. As I said before, she's a doctor of chiropractic with a doctorate in health administration. She has been recognized as a top 100 doctors by the Global Summit Institute. She has spoken on prestigious stages around the world, including the World Congress of Neurology and the Neurological Disorders in the World Congress of Falls and Posture Stability. So I think it is absolutely important for us to embrace and have Dr. Krista Burns back. And we got a lot of questions. Welcome to Adjusted Reality, Dr. Burns.
Thank you, Dr. McAllister. It's so great to be back and wonderful to speak with your audience. I love how they're tuning in to adjust their reality to having whole health, and that whole being wellness.
Fantastic. Well, this is really one of the things that we see progressing over time. And I think it's really important now to bring in our parents and our youth into this conversation. And that is why we wanted to have you back, because we need to know exactly what is tech neck and how does it affect our posture and our overall health. Why are we having this conversation today, Dr. Burns?
Yeah, so tech neck posture, and you guys can check yourself at home. In fact, as you've heard the word posture or tech neck, chances are you sat up a little bit straighter in your chair while driving or while listening in at home. So what you want to check for is ideal posture is when your ears are aligned over your shoulders and your shoulders are back with your chest forward. Now, if you have tech neck posture or what's called forward head posture, here's what it's going to look like. From the side, you'll see that your ears go forward in relation to your shoulders. And then what commonly happens is your shoulders are going to round forward too, and your chest will collapse forward, making that C-shaped spinal curvature. So what you can do right now is just do a quick check on yourself and see if your ears are aligned over your shoulders. And if it's not, if your ears are forward in relation to your shoulders, then chances are you have tech neck posture or forward head posture. And what our goal is to bring you back into a nice aligned posture, adjust that posture into alignment so you can have better symmetry of your body and better function overall. And we'll talk about that relationship between function and posture today throughout our podcast.
Outstanding. You know, the pieces that come together, and if you just tuned into Adjusted Reality, and this is the first one of the series that you're listening to, this is the one to share, because most people don't recognize how bad their posture is until A, someone takes a picture of you and you're like, whoa, or B, you start getting pain and your overall health starts to change. So can you talk to me about what are some of the signs and symptoms that oftentimes both tech neck and selfie thumb, and you may need to explain what selfie thumb is for our audience. What are some of these signs and symptoms that people may reflect on and go, oh, okay, I get it. My posture is the cause.
Yeah, when you have better posture, when you have nice, proper aligned posture, you look better, move better, and feel better. So therefore, when we go out of alignment or asymmetric posture or have forward head posture or tech neck posture, then you may be experiencing things like you may have pain in your neck. You may notice in a photo where it makes you look like kind of old because from the side, it looks like you have a bit of a hump on your neck or that you're rounded forward as if you were like an older person walking forward with a cane. So if you see that rounding position, that's going to be indication of tech neck posture. posture, if you're feeling any sort of neck pain. Another thing that I commonly hear, Dr. McAllister, is our workers, especially our workers who are working at computers, at the end of the day, they go, I feel like I'm fidgeting in my chair to stay comfortable. They're holding their shoulders. They're feeling like they have knots in their shoulders, and they may even experience pain all the way from their neck down to their hands. And so if you've experienced any of these symptoms, chances are you have tech neck posture. But the good news is that it's reversible, and we'll talk about ways that you can prevent this from happening to you at home. And then, of course, if your thumbs are hurting, then it could be the position while typing and while utilizing your cell phone. You may also experience, indication of what's called carpal tunnel syndrome, where from typing a lot, you have your wrists flex, then that may cause strain on your wrists as well. And there's a direct correlation between the position of our hands and the position of our necks. We want to make sure that everything is in alignment to keep you out of chronic pain, keep you feeling vital, keep you feeling great, and having nice energy even at the end of the day of your workday.
You said a lot there, and one of the things that I like to hear is it's reversible. So many of us get into this feeling like, well, it's already done, it's over with, it just work with it. And that's inspiring, Dr. Burns, because we know as we grow and we learn more and we spend more time with our technology that we can do better and we can have a better health outcome if we understand what causes some of the problems that we have. It's a cause and effect relationship. So that's a very important piece. And, one of my colleagues had said, well, what's a big deal about selfie thumb? And I said, if you have thumb pain, go ahead and try to open a jar. A lot of things we do use that opposing thumb. It's so important. And when it's painful, your activities of daily living are going to change. So prevention really is one of those big keys. And I'm glad you brought it up, and you've given many of us hope that, we haven't been focusing on our posture, but we can do better. Let's ask you this. How do you recommend balancing the use of digital devices with maintaining good posture and basically the overall musculoskeletal health that's dealing with our muscles and our bones?
Yeah, great question. I'm a huge advocate of taking care of your body while engaging with technologic devices. The good news is that to reverse or prevent tech neck posture, we don't actually have to throw away our cell phones. All we have to do is be mindful of the position of our body while engaging with technology. So what that means is if you're on a computer screen, you want to bring that device up to eye level so that you're not constantly looking down and forward. It's very common, especially at the end of the day, when we're feeling a little bit more fatigued anyway, that we'll squint forward like this. Okay, so from the side, you can see that my ears are forward in relation to my shoulders, and we'll tend to be looking down at our computer screen. So we're in this flexed posture position. What we want to do instead is bring that device up to eye level. So you can see I'm on my computer screen right now, and because it's upright, I'm able to look directly at the screen without having to look down. Now, another thing is with your smartphone. So we probably all have one of these we carry around with us in our pockets. Now, it would be kind of impossible to just hold our phones directly out like this. Our arms would end up getting tired and then we'd have shoulder pain. But what we can do instead is if you bring your elbows in close to your body like this, where you're resting your elbows on your chest cavity here, on your rib cage, then from here you can bring your device up to eye level in a way where you're able to check everything that you need to on your phone, whether you're checking your notifications, whether you're sending a text message, you can do so without having to look down. Because every time we look down in this posture, what many of us don't realize is we're adding up to 60 pounds of pressure on the neck. 60 pounds of pressure every time I grab my smartphone and I look down to send a text message. Therefore, what we need to do is not throw away the smartphone, but we need to bring the smartphone up to eye level. We need to have smarter smartphone posture in order to prevent that tech neck posture from occurring and not only happening to you, but also your spouse, also your family, your kids. We want to make sure that everybody in the whole family is having great posture.
It really comes back to sharing is caring. And the more you know, the better you can do. And it's creating that awareness first and foremost, and then doing it yourself. Because I noticed as soon as you just did that, hold your elbow up, I'm naturally straightened up. And when you see good things, you want to be more like that. When you see a happy person, you think, oh, I want to be happy. When you see someone who is actually in good posture, you can tell they have just like you, they have a strong sense of confidence. And that's a big piece of it. And I think as we start to see our younger people spending more time on their phones and their devices, it's going to be a reality, an adjusted reality, to get them to avoid what the Harris poll for 2023 showed us at 67% of the young adults that took our Harris poll with the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress were actually complaining about neck pain. And so Dr. Burns is here and she's kind of sharing why good posture is really good health. And that's a big piece of it. So let's just learn a little bit about what are the long lasting effects that our digital devices are having on our bodies. And you noted we can reverse them. So tell us what that reversal looks like when there's been a little bit of damage already done.
Yeah, if you've had forward head posture, then chances are it's been impacting your breathing, your balance. It could be causing pain, even chronic pain, meaning that it's lasted more than 3 months, and it could be impacting your productivity. Yes, there's a direct correlation between the position of your body and your ability to stay focused at work. And so let me give you an example when it comes to your posture and the function of your body. What I want you to do, Dr. McAllister, if you don't mind participating, and then
Love to.
everybody at home, as you're listening in, try this activity with me so you can feel the direct impact of poor posture right away. So what I want you to do, permission to have bad posture, I want you to slump forward as if you're in a slouch position. And from here, I want you to try taking a full breath in to see what that feels like. Okay. Now from here, I want you to stand up in nice posture, bring your chin back so that your ears are lined over your shoulder, put your chest forward and shoulders back. Now from here, take a full inhalation and exhalation and just feel the difference.
It's immediate.
Yes. And so what happens is when we're collapsed forward, we're inhibiting the diaphragm, which is the principal muscle for our respiratory system, which means your ability to breathe comes from right here, from this muscle called the diaphragm. When that's inhibited, what you'll see is that I'm required to use other muscles to bring in oxygen. So I start recruiting muscles in my chest, around my neck, and it becomes more fatiguing than to breathe. And what ends up happening is I take shallower respirations. And because I'm bringing in less oxygen with each breath that I take, I then have to breathe faster. So what happens is we start doing what's called hyperventilation. And so I start hyperventilating or breathing fast, shallow breaths in order to bring in enough oxygen. Now, taking one breath in this posture, that's okay. We'll probably be fine from it. But what I see with patients is they've been doing this for 10 years or 20 years. They've had this poor posture, and it's a direct impact onto the function of their body. And we can feel just by going into upright posture how the function of our body changes for the better instantaneously. And what I love about this upright posture is when you have control of your respiration, it also makes you more resilient to stress. Have you ever noticed that when you get a little stressed out, maybe it's the end of the month, getting ready for the first of the month, and you have to pay your bills and you have some deadlines coming up, and maybe a kid is sick at home and you're sitting at your desk and your head is forward and you're breathing fast and you're just feeling a lot of that stress. Well, when we're in this stressed position, when we're in this collapsed posture, we become less resilient to stress. In fact, we have more cortisol output. And then when we start breathing faster, then that keeps us in that stressful state. So one of the best ways to control our stress is to control our breathing. But I always say, if you want to control your breathing to help mitigate stress, you got to correct your posture first, because from here, from this state, you'll still have that stress. So bring your body upright into a nice upright posture and have an uplifted mood instantaneously and be able to fight off that stress. Also, you're going to be able to balance your body upright against gravity with less fatigue, more energy and vitality, and you're going to help have more productivity and stay alert and focused at work as well.
This is epic. There's a lot of people that are listening and they're working out right now. And congratulations if you're listening while you're working out, because that's a win-win. I call that the triple down win. You're working out, you're educating, and now you're starting to understand how your posture impacts you. And a little adjusted reality for myself yesterday is a few weeks back, I was traveling, lifting a piece of luggage into the overhead compartment. And about 3 days before that happened, I had neck pain. And I never get neck pain. I slept wrong on my pillow. I woke up and it was stiff and sore, and I could see that I was changing my posture because of my neck pain. Lo and behold, I injured my shoulder. And yesterday, I finally went to the chiropractor and I said, I got this really bad shoulder problem. Can you help me? And he goes, 70% of shoulder problems start with neck pain. And I went back and I thought, oh, see, that's my adjusted reality. I needed a moment where I just stood back and I looked at how I was treating my posture. And even when you're in bed, how important your posture is. Posture hygiene not only starts when you get up and you go to work. And if you could see Dr. Burns, she is a starling of example of what good posture looks like. But the other piece is, what happens when you go to bed? Are you thinking about your postural sleep hygiene so that when you wake up, unlike me, you don't end up with neck pain? So I thank you, Dr. Burns, for kind of bringing these pieces together for us on what we can look for, what we can prevent, and obviously having the impact that good posture will bring to us.
Absolutely.
I have one last question for you because you're a wealth of knowledge and I know how busy you are, and I'm so grateful you joined us today. But obviously, the world is changing very quickly. It's changing both in technology with artificial intelligence. It's changing how we do things. And I'd like to ask you to kind of grab your crystal ball and say, look at what are the trends or outcomes that are being predicted for the future of our posture, and how does that relate to the increasing use of our digital devices?
Great question. Well, as of 2021, the American Journal of Epidemiology and Public Health came out with a research study showing that in 2021, more than 70% of school age children already presented with moderate to severe forward head posture. So that was in 2021. Now, fast forward, my prediction is that that number is going to get alarmingly worse. And we were already at 70% with moderate to severe forward head posture. Now, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. It's good to have that prediction and understand what could happen if we don't take action. But if we adjust our reality now, knowing that we'll continue to use devices, we're going to continue to adopt AI, and we're going to continue to evolve with the ever evolving technology, it allows us to adjust our reality in this current moment and have whole body wellness and whole body health so that we can engage with our technology in a nice, safe way. So my prediction is if we do nothing, Dr. McAllister, then I think it'll be 90% plus will have forward head posture. However, if we join together and share this message about proper posture, my prediction is that we can help people stand up to sitting disease. We can help them reverse and prevent tech neck posture with smarter smartphone posture. So I predict that we will have posture being at the forefront of health in the next generation, because if they don't, they're going to be feeling the effects of forward head posture much earlier than the current generation did. So for example, current adults usually started having neck pain a little bit later in life once we had seated jobs looking at our devices. But now the current generation will be feeling neck pain earlier on if they do nothing. So I think it's going to become very trendy and modern to be taking care of our posture and to be standing up in the next generation with our devices in a nice power posture that keeps us healthy, pain-free, and functioning at a very high level.
Wow, you totally inspired me. The one piece is Dr. Burns showed up today and she spoke the truth that our health is going to be compromised. She also put up the reality that you need to look at your health and how your health is being impacted by your digital devices. But I bet the best part is she stands up for true health and what that means. And it is the future looks bright. And when you stand up and you speak up about these pieces that they seem very simple, but they're so very important. Dr. Burns, you are a beacon of light, a consummate professional, and I'm so grateful that you're changing the world one posture at a time. Thank you very, very much for being on Adjusted Reality again with us.
Thank you. And for everybody listening, remember, it's posture by design, not by circumstance. Don't become a circumstance of your environment. Make the choice to design beautiful, resilient, upright, healthy, pain-free posture.
Outstanding. Well said. Thank you for tuning in to Adjusted Reality as we spoke to Dr. Krista Burns with the American Posture Institute about how our digital devices affect our musculoskeletal health and what we need to do to prevent the potential for 90% of us to be experiencing the unfortunate with his pain due to our digital devices. Now, it can range from tech neck to selfie thumbs. It all depends on you and the choices that you're about to make. And that I hope you'll share with your friends and family. And always remember, making a list of the things that you want to achieve for this year and hopefully increasing your postural awareness is on that checklist. Now, this podcast was brought to you by the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. As a special gift for listening today, you can visit f4cp.org/health to get a copy of our Chiropractic Care, a natural approach to health at every stage of life ebook. Now, I hope that you will subscribe, share this podcast with your families and friends, rate and review. The more you share, the more you care. Now, if you're feeling so inspired to learn more about chiropractic care and someone who can actually look at your posture with the education and knowledge to prevent further injuries, well, you can find a doctor of chiropractic near you. How? f4cp.org/find a doctor. We so appreciate your support, and we're absolutely looking forward to checking in with you again very soon.